Welcome everyone to the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium. My name's Lindsay. I'm an aquarist here at Cabrillo Marine Aquarium, and one of my jobs is to do something really fun, is to feed all of the animals in our entire aquarium. So we're going to do that with you guys today. We're actually going to be feeding our shark tank. In our shark tank we have a few local representative shark species such as leopard sharks, horn sharks, and swell sharks, as well as some different kinds of skates and rays like the California round ray and the California skate. So I'm going to introduce you guys to some of the food items that we feed in this tank. One of those food items is this guy right here. This is a market squid. We also have something that you might recognize. You might eat this very often. This is shrimp. So we have some shrimp for these guys. And then lastly, something you might not recognize as easily, this kind of yellow stuff right here, kind of orangish golden color, this is clam. So a lot of these sharks in here love to eat squid, clam, and shrimp. So that's what we're gonna do right now. And I'm just gonna toss in some of this in a scatter feed. So we do something called a broadcast feed or a scatter feed, where I'm simply just throwing in the food because these guys are really good at finding food on their own. They're relying on their senses, and I don't really have to target feed them, meaning I don't have to put it right near their mouth for them to find it. They'll swim around and find the food pretty well on their own. So again, I'm scattering in this food. You might be seeing it fall down from the top of the tank. And these guys are gonna kind of circle around until they find that food, and then they will bite down on it. Now, these guys do not have very sharp and long teeth. They have pretty small but numerous teeth that they're relying on. In the wild, especially true for the leopard sharks, and the leopard sharks in this tank are the dark gray colored with the even darker gray colored bars or saddles on their backs. They are gonna be really eating lots of crabs and mollusks. So things like clams and snails and squid, and not so much fish until they get to a larger size. So we have some pretty small leopard sharks in here. Now leopard sharks can get up to 7 feet in length, but in here they're probably around 3 feet in length, maybe even a little bit larger than that. And they're eating, again, squid, shrimp, and clam. We also have our swell sharks that are starting to wake up in our tank right now. The swell sharks are the kind of brownish and tan colored sharks with lots of little spots. And these guys have a really wide mouth. Their mouth is actually about 10% of the length of their body, so they have a very wide mouth, but a short face. So wide mouth, short face. They can eat a lot once they open up that wide mouth pretty wide. So they can eat an entire squid in one go or an entire shrimp in one go. The swell sharks get their name from the ability to swell up or inflate their stomach with air or water. And this is thought to help protect them from being eaten by predators, or to help them stay stuck within the rock crevices that they normally like to stay in order to avoid being eaten by predators. Swell sharks are one of the species in this tank that actually lays eggs. So if you didn't know that sharks can lay eggs, the swell shark is one of those species that can. I have an example here of an egg case of a swell shark. You can see the yolk in there, kind of slightly in this image. And these guys will actually lay these eggs. Normally there's lots of long tendrils on the base and the top of this egg here. They'll swim around a rock and wrap those tendrils around that rock so that the egg will come out of their body and get stuck to that rock. The gestation period or the development period for that egg is about 9 to 12 months, depending on the temperature of the water. And after that point, the small baby or juvenile swell sharks will actually make their way out of those egg cases and start eating food. And lastly, the third type of shark that we have in our tank here is the horn shark. So the horn sharks in this tank can either be a dark brown or a light tannish color with small spots covering around the body. Their most salient characteristic or most notable characteristic, however, are the two dorsal spines that they have on their dorsal fins. So the dorsal fins are the fins that are on the back of their body, and they have 2 of those. Right in front of those fins, they also have 2 dorsal spines. A few of our skates are swimming around now too. Those are our flattened, kind of pancake-like ray-looking animals in here. These guys have something called spiracles on the top of their head. They're basically 2 extra, almost like nostrils on the top of their head that allow them to sit on the bottom while still being able to breathe. So they can actually pull water past their gills and get oxygenated water past their gills. By using those spiracles, they'll open and close, open and close. That way they can stay stuck on the bottom and not have to worry about breathing as much. The skates are another type of cartilaginous fish that can actually lay eggs. And I have an example of their eggs here as well. Very similar in style to the Swell Shark egg case, but looks a little bit different. So this is the skate egg case and this is the Swell Shark egg case. You can probably see a few of these egg cases, the skate egg cases, around in this tank right now. And they do look like they are fertilized, so we will collect them every once in a while and take them off to one of our holding tanks so that they can complete their gestation period and at some point pop out a little baby skate. And looks like they've pretty much eaten everything in this tank here. So that's going to end our feeding for today. Thank you guys for joining and watching. We hope that you take away some of this information on the leopard shark, horn shark, and swell shark, as well as our California skate in this tank here. And we hope you come back and visit again.